Welcome to CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
I was going to mess it up this time. Don't worry.
We're cousins.
I was going to sabotage it before you sabotaged it. Beat you to the punch. I was going to call you a biatch, but
that's not good. Like, I don't purposely do this stuff. I just...
You just do it.
I just am.
This is episode 185. And what are we doing today, Lowry?
We're going to do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. I just saw that
on the main segment. And it's just kind of like a lot of new product announcements for the next year have been announced, and we want to discuss them and / learn about them because I've only seen whatever was posted on our Discord at this point. So,
and also the breakdown of the Secret Lair that is currently going. So that's part of it. We'll break down,
which goes until like mid-September.
Yeah, I think it was September 13th. I probably should have wrote that down.
Right.
I have it right in front of me, except it just has like the main. Come on, guy. Yeah, I think it is till September 13th. Yep. So release date will be December 13th. September 14th at 11 a.m. is when it ends.
Okay.
But we have a breakdown, kind of what we do, because, you know, that's part of what we do here. We do the specking a little bit, so we kind of break down. A lot of us buy the Secret Lair stuff because it's good value and all that. So we have each one, what's in it, breakdown, and kind of help you decide which one to get. Then we have a new Stump the Smith Savant, right? Because you were stumped. That bitch was stumped last week.
Totally stumped last week. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah. And actually,
it was good. It was hard.
We'll have our first non-patron stumper. So I drew somebody that was not a patron for the first time since we've been doing the stump stuff. It's all been patron stuff. So
yeah. And
it isn't though. It is from the one that you had seen, but then he emailed me a new one, so it's different.
It's a good thing. Yeah. Good thing I said something last week then.
Yeah, because you would have had it easily. Could have faked it, been like, I don't know, just like made some wrong guesses on purpose, and then get it just out of nowhere. That's how I would have played it. And then we have a new, I think, continuing segment. What is that? But this is your idea. I think this is going to be pretty sweet here.
Okay, so right now, working title, but I think we like Staples versus.
Yep.
Staple versus.
And
so we're going to take two cards that are very similar, and we're going to discuss them and kind of point out differences, their bonuses. That's the general overarching theme. And then you guys get to vote on Twitter or YouTube and just kind of put out your opinion on what those cards are kind of doing. And this week, we're going to talk about Soul Ring versus Mana Crypt.
Or as others would like to call it, Mana Crypt. No, just kidding. Others as in only just me.
Only you.
I know there's other people. There's other content creators that call it Mana as well. I don't remember who they are. I can't remember, but every time I hear it, I'm like, yeah, fuck you, me and you, brother.
You become a Hulk Hogan fan together.
Yeah, you and me, brother. But yeah, so each week we'll kind of just say who won kind of the voting. It doesn't mean it's like whatever. It's just an opinion, man. Dude, it's your opinion.
Man.
And we may favor one over the other, but we're not going to say this one's better or not. We're going to kind of let you guys decide that.
That's not our job. That's your job to figure out what you like better.
So I think this will be really fun. It's going to be I think an every week segment, unless we have one of those really long weeks where we kind of bump everything off. So we'll be doing that each week and kind of going through that. So we had kind of a freaking crazy week last week. I don't want to get into. Well, I'll get into the summary of things, but like I forgot to even point this out. We hit this, I think, before the episode last week. We hit a milestone of 100,000 downloads, like of the podcast. So that's kind of a big thing.
Me about that.
Yeah, well, I forgot about it because it hit last week. Yeah, so that's a pretty. Well, I should get the applause up.
On the podcast on Podbean. That's
yep.
Up there. Cool.
So we'll do the applause. So this is going to be a lot of slapping ourselves on the back, but
it only took 3.5 years.
We're right, exactly. And really, if you count those like first year and a half of it, there really wasn't that many downloads.
Yeah, we had at least 10,000 at that point.
Yeah, something like that. But really, it's just a spread from everybody, just because we haven't really done a lot of promoting of anything besides us promoting to the void of Twitter.
The meat force, everybody that listens.
It is. That's the thing. It's the meat force with it. But then we also had our 500 subs on YouTube, so we're halfway to 1,000.
Yeah.
Proxy Time short started last week. First one went over 500. Second one went over 1,000. Two curateds went. Wait, two of them went over 1,000.
No,
one. One is at
like
975. 975. So we have one of them that you guys need to jump on and watch. 25 views, and we hit another 1,000. And then the podcast short, which was hilarious, got to 935. So we almost had 5 videos last week go over 1,000. Oh,
if you missed out, this is a little taste.
Do good for you on that voice. Do that. That'd be perfect.
Shit.
No!
Nope. Oh shit! That was really.
There we go. I don't know anything. Hold on.
No. Oh, good for you is the top, but I said do it in that voice. You say, "Oh, good for you."
Oh, good for you.
Oh, that's good shit.
So yeah, if you guys listened to the podcast last week and you didn't finish it, or you stopped right after our sign off,
just go back and listen to the end of the
the
podcast.
very end.
And you put it at the first
very
couple minutes,
2
first
minutes
5
in
minutes.
it, and then there's also a short of it of it broken down to all the laughing parts.
Yeah. Yep.
I cried laughing multiple times. I showed it to my parents. Cindy was crying laughing. It's just, dude, your glasses start fogging up, like. And then,
yeah, my eyes weren't crying; they were like juicing. They were just like spraying tear ducts. It was disgusting.
And re-listening to it, because I probably listened to it 20 or 30 of those 935 downloads or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's your chuckle, your just little laugh, and it's just in that little high-pitched voice. Just like, oh, it made me laugh. And then when you're like, oh shit, this is ridiculous, or whatever you said after. I just loved it. So get out there and check those out.
Our funniest bit so far over 3.5 years is
last week.
Us just laughing at baby and female voice.
I'm a
not
female.
Magic related at all. It was just. Oh boy.
That was pretty fantastic. What are you drinking, Larry? Because we got to get these out of the way. Because
true enough. Okay, so I am drinking a Weizenbach from Shakopee Brew Hall. It is called Banana Hammock.
I mean, sweet, but I mean, is it banana flavored?
So it's not very good. That's a little bit disappointing. Yeah, I don't really get any of the banana from it, and it kind of.
Well, that's kind of a good thing. I do not like banana flavoring. Like sweet tarts that are banana flavor. Like bananas are good, but banana flavoring stuff.
Do you not like banana bread? Banana bread's amazing.
No.
Banana pudding, like pie, so good. What are you talking? What are you talking about?
I like a different
Mashed
fruit.
potato pie?
My raspberry Kolash style Uda Pills beer. It's Pontoon Afternoon. This one's pretty damn tasty.
Yeah.
But it's my last of the Uda Pills.
Hmm.
But I like this fruit better than the fruit that you're drinking.
Which one was it? I missed that.
Raspberry.
Oh, it's raspberry.
Raspberry Is it Kolash? Is that how you say it? Kolsch? Kolash. There's
I
no
learned how to say it from my dad, who is not a wordsmith.
Well, a wordsmith.
To Sami.
I don't know why I said Kolash, because there's no O after the L, so reading is not my kid can't even read. Why aren't you fucking hitting that button?
Got it.
Can't even read.
I'm excited about that.
Perfect. Yep, you're gonna be playing that one a lot. Okay, so I do have a couple stories. One. So on Friday, we actually went to the state fair because it was raining. We were like, we weren't gonna go at all, but because it was raining, we were like, there's not gonna be people there, so we don't have to worry about it. Because I like going and getting the food and stuff. And so we were like, all right, let's go. We brought our umbrellas and all that stuff. We had the boys in the wagon and had a cover on it. And anytime we like went into, like, it was dead. There was barely anybody there. But anytime
My
we went into,
understanding, it's like half the amount of people going as normal.
and it was probably less than that when we were like there. It just didn't, there wasn't a lot of people. But anytime we went into buildings, we still brought our war masks and stuff like that. And actually, Cindy and the boys, because the boys are a little more, you know, because they aren't vaccinated and stuff. So they were wearing the masks the whole time unless they were eating or drinking. Okay. But Drake, he likes scary stuff, you know, but then he's the one that comes up and be like, I had a dream about a zombie and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago when we were at the fair with him, actually it may even been 3 years ago. I think we brought him 2 years
He's
ago.
getting old now.
I know, but he wanted to go to the haunted house. So when we were at the when we were there 2 years ago, he was losing his mind. He was 4 then. He was like, I want to go in the haunted house. Like, no, dude, too scary, too scary. So that was the other part of it raining. We were like, that'll make it so they don't go on any rides. Cause we're just like, cause it's rain. You can't get on rides. So we decided to bring him by the haunted house just to look at it. Cause it is kind of cool to look at the outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get there and they both are freaking out. They want to go in the haunted house. And we're like, no, it's too scary. It's way too scary. But while we're standing there, freaking like 3 little girls come walking out of the haunted house.
Son of a.
Yeah. And so we're like, both sitting here like, maybe we do it. I don't know. But then like all of a sudden these teenage girls came out screaming, but they were like being over dramatic. It really wasn't, you know, they were trying to do attention type things.
That's what they are. Yeah.
So they're like, all right, you boys really want to do this? It was only $5. We're like, okay, got our masks on, went in the haunted house. We got one room in, and Drake went from holding my hand in front with Drake and Zeke in the front with me. Drake ran to the back screaming and was holding on to Cindy. And the cool thing there is that, and they do this all the time, I think, with the haunted house, but it was just us, you know, it was us and the whatever people. Well, he was screaming so bad that one of the workers was like, do you need to get let out? And I was like, no, he's fine. He's fine. So then we walk up the stairs and then get into the next room. He is out hysterically, just freaking out, crying, like screaming, crying, like bloody murder. And so Zeke was fine. He was leading us. But then they started going after Zeke because he's in the front and they're getting in his face. Jeez. So then I pick Zeke up. Drake gets picked up by Cindy. He like basically climbs up her like a koala. And we're just walking from room to room as they're chasing us. And Drake is just screaming bloody murder. And Cindy and I are just, I told you, just laughing and chuckling. We get out. Drake thought the whole haunted house was going to be basically animatronic stuff. He like pointed to the stuff that was outside. He's like, I thought it was going to be like that skeleton in the graveyard. We're like, no, well, that's what he was wondering, is if they were real monsters. And like, no, those are actors. It's like us wearing a costume. Not 2 minutes later, there's another dad, mom, and a daughter about Drake's age. Yeah. She's full on bawling, and they have like basically the bawling bench right outside the haunted house. It's like an extra wide bench for parents to console their kids from crying. But the first thing I hear the mom say is, we told you it was going to be scary. So we ended up talking to them for a second, and both the little girl and everything, we took their picture with their phone. They took our picture with our phone. And so it was
kids crying.
Yeah.
And then you can give that to them for Christmas and be like, remember, listen to us.
Exactly. Dude, so that's like the third thing in the last month that we've done like an I told you so, and it immediately happened. Like really quick, last week, Zeke was jumping on one of those plastic laundry baskets. Mm-hmm. And Cindy goes, Zeke, you probably shouldn't do that because it's going to break. I'm fine. Broke right through, like scraped his legs up and all that from the plastic. Then when we were in Duluth, what I was telling you, we went camping, Zeke was running down the trail. I'm like, Zeke, you better not run. You're going to trip on a root. And he's like, what? And he hits a root and flies. I was like, I told you so. They're pretty sweet.
So I hate scary stuff.
Yeah.
But we're kids. I would have probably been about 9-ish. Grant would have been like 7-ish, my brother. And we somehow convinced my mom to buy a ticket to get into the county fair haunted house. And she was pregnant with my younger sister by 9 years at this point. And so we went in, and it's literally the first corner. They had like this step on it where you would step on it and it make a really, really loud noise, and then like a red buzzer over a skeleton. Right now, I'm like, that was fucking lame. But we tried it like 5 times. We're like, Mom, come on, help us. She's like, no, I am very pregnant. This isn't happening.
You were yelling to her like you were in the haunted house?
We'd run back out.
Oh, so it was like the first thing you're saying.
Yeah, it was literally the first corner. And the guy wouldn't give back the tickets. My mom wasn't going to come in, so we just gave up. We're like, we're not going.
You only went to the step.
We did the first step. That's all I remember. And like, that's when I was like, scary shit ain't worth it for me. Like, it's just not. I've done a couple of like scary stuff since, but like, I don't enjoy it. So.
And I could tell Drake's that way. He's like Cindy and I. We love scary movie stuff. In fact, we watched a bad scary movie last weekend. Oh no, it wasn't bad scary. I was telling you that isn't even a scary movie. That's more of a horror thing. I said we watched The Purge, which isn't scary. It's just more gore. The interesting thing is, so what I was wearing my shirt last week. So Cindy got these Halloween ones with all the scary stuff on it. The one I was wearing last week had like, Pennywise, Jason, blah, blah, blah. Had all like the people, all the, our old school scary stuff. And then under it had the Friends logo. So that's what that whole bit was. When we got out of the haunted house, I was wearing that shirt. Zeke, because the dude was paying attention. He wasn't scared. I mean, he was scared, but he wasn't freaking out. He was like, oh, I saw Pennywise in there. Like there was a clown in there. And he was like pointing it out on my shirt. He's like, I saw him and I saw him and I saw him. It was pretty crazy. And Zeke's 4. That dude was, it was crazy. And then
he's not old enough to know to be scared.
Yeah. I am surprised because I think I told you about that with the water park stuff. I thought he'd be too scared for all that stuff, but he was wanting to do all the water park stuff when we were at Wisconsin Dells. Yeah. Second proud parenting moment happened last night. We watched my favorite movie that got me into wanting to be a meteorologist. One of the movies or one of the things that got me into it.
Twister?
Showed him Twister last night, dude.
I remember you loving that movie. And
love that movie.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So it's probably been 15 years since I've seen that movie. It's got to be about that 15 or so. The graphics are awful. It's so bad. I even remember when I watched it then, because I said it to Cindy, I was like, there's parts of this movie where the shot on them, it's like they're in bright sun, and then they do a camera shot of what they're looking at, and it's like completely dark. Like it's like just bad organization. Watching it as 15 years later, there's so many bad things. Like, the part where they're driving over and the cow scene where it's like, there's a cow, there's another cow. Nope, it's the same cow.
I think that was the same. Yeah, that cow looked like shit back then.
Well, not that part, but if you watch while they're driving on it, they're driving on what just like a 1-lane road between 2 lakes or ponds or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Whenever they do a camera shot of them in the car, you see through their windows that they're in like a 4-lane road and there's cars driving the other way. Then they go back to where they're driving and it's a 1-lane dirt road. It's like, man, your cinematography is pretty damn terrible. And then when they do like the zoom out of Earth with the showing the thunderstorms and stuff, I was like, it's like an 80s computer game Earth. Like it's just awful. I was like, geez. I used to think this was amazing.
90s enough credit because
I know
80s would have been like green dots.
Yeah, okay.
Shit
so
like
90s, yeah.
That's Atari and like just beginning of Nintendo. Like
the start of the movie after the first part where what's her nuts name?
Helen Hunt.
Yeah, I forget what her name. Oh, Joe in the movie.
Oh.
After her dad dies. Spoiler alert. Then they show Earth and the thunderstorms, and then they map out like where the United States are, kind of showing you where the thunderstorms are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I look over to Cindy, I was like, oh my God, these graphics are awful. It's like, how did I like this? But it's just, during that time, that was amazing graphics. I remember that.
You're gonna have to show your kids the movie 2012, right? With Joan Cusack. I never saw that, but it's a weather movie, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Day After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow. Those are bad. Those are bad movies.
I mean, Twister wasn't good.
Well, then they made like another Twister movie. I forget what that one was called. It was called like Tornado or something stupid.
Titty
and I remember.
Twister.
Okay. Do you have any more stories? Because the thing is, we're 20 minutes.
We can move on.
Okay. Let's jump into the tags. Okay. You guys can support us by becoming a patron. $1 gets you into the Discord, gets you all fun stuff like chatting with us on the Discord and all that, and playing games.
I've heard people enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually games will start up again. Everybody's kind of been gone, whatever. It's summer. That's just what happens. Stuff will start up here in the fall. $5 or more gets you into getting a proxy each month, at least one or two. At this moment, I was thinking about it. I think I'm over like 150 that I've made for the Discord. That's not even counting the ones made before that. Okay. So each week or each month, we keep getting more and more. So you got a lot to choose from, especially when we hit those 2 times a year. Pick your proxy month, or if you're $100 or more lifetime member, you can pick any time. Every month, you get to pick whatever one you want. Mm-hmm. So that is the money way to support the show. The free way to support the show is jump on YouTube. Check us out there. Subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we hit 500 this week. Now we're really pushing to 1,000. It's kind of ramping up a bit. Videos have been going crazy.
Like 750. We're pushing for 750 now.
Okay. Push for 7. Well, we really want to hit that 1,000.
I know.
Get that 1,000.
We can ratchet it up
small
this way at 750.
All right.
That's goals. Like, you got to do a ladder. You can't just jump to the top of a ladder.
Push to 1 million, guys. We're almost there. We got 500. Let's get to that million mark.
Okay, you're right. Let's start with 1,000.
Yeah. Okay, so jump on there, subscribe, check out our videos. A lot of our shorts are going on. We have multiples going. We had how many videos go last? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus the podcast. We had 6 videos hit the YouTubes last week, and one of the videos that got over 1,000. Well, no, what's the one that just went out this week for you and curated MTG? Yeah,
today's I did Debt of Loyalty, which is a white card that you can regenerate any creature and then you gain control of it. So really, like, if an opponent's creature is dying, you can regenerate it and control it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It's a really cool white steel creature card.
And it's not like an enchantment where if they destroy it, they get their creature back. This is an instant. You play it, you get the creature.
Do you want to steal somebody's commander? Boom. Rest of the game until it dies again.
Yeah. So that's a pretty sweet card. It is a reserve list card, right?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the $20-$30 range.
Yeah, it wasn't that much a little while ago, but it's jumped up.
It's definitely under like 1,000 EDH rec decks.
Oh, that's
it's
perfect.
Like 400 to 600. So
yeah, that's a pretty solid card.
And then you can also check out the Proxy of the Week stuff. Yesterday, which was Sunday, I do the Proxy of the Week Proxy Time videos at 7:30 on Sundays. This week I might miss because it is a holiday weekend. I might be at Lutzen. I'm not sure yet. We might be going up with my dad and whatever. So we'll see. If I'm in town, I'll do it. If not, it'll be jumped for the next week. But yesterday I made 4 effing Esper Sentinels. So
crushed it.
4 of them. So it started off.
I love the R2D2 version.
Yeah. So I had that one planned out. Yeah, it actually, that one turned out as better than I thought it was going to. And then you have the original art. So I try to at least have one of those in there. Then we have the Esper Sentinel X-Men one where it's the Sentinels.
Yes.
And then while I was recording, I was like, somebody else was on. God, I'm sorry, I forgot who it was. It's on the video, whatever. I was just like, oh man, Edward Scissorhands would be perfect in this. I was like, oh, I got to go search for it. So while I'm recording, I actually go and find a good image for Edward Scissorhands. And so there's an Edward Scissorhands art with that. Those will also, some of those will be turned into shorts. I think the one I'm going to do is the R2D2 one. So that'll be later this week as well. So check those out. The biggest thing when you guys watch those videos, like them. Just like them. You can write comments. If you have comments, it's even better. After subscribing. But like those videos, that's what gets those things to spread. And that makes them that's why we're consistently hitting over the 1,000. So And then let's jump over to Twitter. That is the way you guys can interact with us, see when we post those videos. That'll pop up on Twitter. Also, if you subscribe, you'll see those videos pop up as well. And then you can direct message us there, or you can shoot us an email at CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. And that's also where you're going to submit the, look at my stalling really badly, stalling.
Hello, boobies.
Thank you. That's where you can submit the Stump the Smith Savants. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant.
On the email.
Yes. We'd rather you do the the email for Stump the Smith Savant because Lowry's seeing the Twitter stuff. So, and speaking of this week's Stump the Smith Savant, which gets drawn, by the way, on the end of Proxy Time on Sundays. So this week I drew Joe at Jacerator _ from Twitter, and that is our first non-patron Stump the Smith Savant.
Jacerator's been around for a long time, though, on Twitter at least.
Yeah, so he sent that in, sent me an email. We had a different one before, but Lowry saw it because he's a cheater. So if you guys don't know how you don't know how this works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card. Lowry is going to try to guess the card. He only gets 5 wrong guesses. He gets 3 clues. For every wrong guess, he's going to ask yes or no questions. Every yes from me, you'll hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no from me, you'll hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Points don't matter because we're just trying to stump Lowry. Right now, Esper Sentinel is on the line. And every 4 weeks that Lowry doesn't get stumped, we'll add an additional card. Every time he gets stumped, we'll add a card. We'll replace it with a new card.
That's not going to be a problem, though. You guys will keep getting me. I'm not that good.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the flavor text. I don't know why people say a double-edged sword is bad. It's a sword with 2 edges. Kamal Pitfighter.
Yeah, I fucking know this one. All right.
You
hold
do?
on. I've definitely read this one. Kamal goes back to that's like Odyssey block. So it wouldn't be an equipment.
I don't know why people say a double-edged sword is bad. It's a sword with 2 edges. Kamal Pitfighter.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, was there a different Kamal in Time Spiral area? I am kind of blanking on that. But Kamal Pitfighter was a red card. And that tapped and dealt 3 damage and was like fucking ridiculous, stupid stats like 6/1 haste. Have to deal 3 damage. And so this is probably God. What is it? Can you read that one more time?
I don't know why people say a double-edged sword is bad. It's a sword with 2 edges. Kamal Pitfighter.
I've definitely read this one.
Now can you put it to the card?
Yeah. That's I'll take a clue, a relevant clue this week, please.
A relevant clue. Okay. This actually didn't catch a flavor text until the last year of using editions. Do you know what the last year we used editions? Like 4th edition, 5th edition, 6th edition? I can give you that as well.
That
if you don't.
10th edition. It'd be
10th edition. Yep, 10th edition. So it didn't have a flavor text until we hit 10th edition.
That's probably where I remember reading it from, obviously, because it wouldn't have been on there before. All right. Okay. So it didn't get flavor text until 10th edition. So that makes sense. It's a big reprint set. But it was a great set for like core sets. I remember when that came out. This is definitely a good one. Okay, so I should probably, so this is it doesn't, let's just get a hello boobies in there, but this is a mono colored card.
Hello, boobies.
All right. So it's not an artifact.
Hello, boobies.
And this would have been a reprint because at 10th edition they were fully reprinted sets at that point still.
Well, like I was saying, it didn't have flavor text before that, and then it didn't catch. Yeah, so it definitely is a reprint because it was before that didn't even have it.
Yeah. So it is a mono. I don't even know if they had multicolored cards in that set anyway. It'd be silly if it was Kamal Pit Fighter.
Did he do it again?
It's a sword with two.
I don't know why people say a double-edged sword is bad. It's a sword with two edges. Kamal
Okay,
Pit Fighter.
I mean, we might as well. Let's do a guess here. Where could it be?
This
Is this a red card?
Hello, boobies.
Mono red. Yes, because
Mono
you said
red.
mono.
And so I'll take a second clue.
Okay. Although it has three different arts, let's see, three different arts, but since the flavor text started, the art has been the same with kind of an orb surrounded by wires of flame.
An orb with wires of flame? Wires of flame.
I didn't want to give away too much there, so if I said it differently, that's all I'm going to say.
Oh no, mana barbs.
Oh!
Hello, boobies.
Makes sense now. I got it.
Dang it, I gave away too much of that. Because I was trying to word it different because I didn't want to say it's surrounded by barbs of flame, barbed wire, so that's why I did wires of flame.
I gotcha. I was. Yeah.
Then
I don't even know if I remember the flame on there.
Well, no, because those are they to me they look like flames. Those barbs, because they're just white. I don't know. What else are they? That was just what my impression was.
Fire, but I'm it's been a long time since I've seen it. But just remember that I knew that I remembered that text somewhere, so it was going to hit.
Well, and my third clue was this card punishes even the most basic needs. Tapping your land.
The great thing about like that flavor text right there is like it's referencing the double side of the sword on how it hurts you and them whenever you tap a mana. So I think it's really clever. I like it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Joe.
Sorry.
You didn't stump Lowry this week. He got it. So, but Joe, you can also submit your more stumps. Anybody can send them in. I just need them by Saturdays before we do the podcast.
Over 5,000 decks too, huh?
Yeah, it is. I checked it too because he had a different one and he's like, "Damn it, this one's not over 5,000." And he's like, "How about monobarbs?" I was like, "Yep, that one works." So
there's a lot of assholes out there.
And actually,
does it deal the damage? I bet you it was.
Yes,
dwarf.
Monobarbs deals 1 damage to that player.
Fucking made it crazy. All right.
The other thing is next week is a double cast for us, so there's going to be 2 back-to-back. So get your stumps in this week because you won't be able to get them in next week. So if you get your stuff in this week because I won't be drawing anything for 2 weeks. Okay, so that was that. Now we move into our main segment, right? Yes, that's what we're gonna do next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a new opener for you, buddy.
Ooh.
Extra, read all about it.
Magical news.
Was that Zeke?
No, that was me. And you,
Extra, read all about it.
I got that down. I got it on lock. Come on.
and I did extra. I don't know why I did it that way, but I did extra.
Right.
But you want to hear it again?
Extra, read all about it.
Magical news.
Might be my worst button I've ever made.
No, I would say that last week's was, or 2 weeks ago.
What? That's I actually was gonna play this. Rotating cards,
Yeah.
come on! Look out, they're gonna rotate.
You don't even like singing, and you're singing in that one. I just don't get it.
When I can sing at my own leisure and not have it be like the pressure is on, I'm totally fine with it. I like making. Wait until we get to the next segment. I like you having buttons. I like you.
I do too.
Okay, so we are gonna start. Well, let's go through the timeline of what is coming out this next year and change, and then we will finish up with the Secret Lair stuff and kind of break that down. So they released basically what's happening in the next 2022 and 2023, because we do get a little bit
just a wee bit,
a
of
little bit of 2023.
2023.
So we're just going to go through this, kind of give a little 2 cents on it, and then kind of move on, because then the Secret Lair stuff is more of what we're going to get to kind of break that down.
How about we do a little bit more than just pocket change? We can do at least $1 worth of our opinion.
Where's my drum rolls? I
Hurrah.
was going to do boobies. I'm too far away from
Hello,
getting my-
boobies.
All right.
There we go. Okay, so we're going to go by the quarter releases. So I'll start with quarter one, then we'll go back and forth, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four. All right, so quarter one of 2022, we are getting Innistrad double feature. This is okay. So what's happening is we have Innistrad Midnight Hunt and Innistrad Crimson Vow coming like within 2 months of each other, right? Oh yeah, coming within 2 months.
Well, and we knew this was coming.
Yes,
This was announced last year.
But this is the double feature where they're making a unique draft set that will exclusively arrive in 2022. It features both from those sets in the set. I don't know. It doesn't. What I was hearing is that there's going to be special, like,
Art treatment, which is reminiscent of monster movies produced in the 30s and 40s.
And speculation of things that, might be in both of those sets might get a special treatment in this set as well. So you might see the...
Oh, okay. So what they're doing is they're releasing the Midnight Hunt at the end of September, and then they're releasing the Crimson Vow, which would be the vampire version, just like 2 months later. So
right.
October, November. And then they're saying quarter one of 2022, they're going to release them together in a draft set.
Yeah. So lots of Innistrad for like half a year.
I don't know. That to me feels like it might be their fit in, like their Double Masters version, or their, where it's like a month and a half after the main set.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So like the special set that's in between the standard sets.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's a standard set because we've already gotten these cards.
Well, that's because Kamigawa Neon Dynasty comes out right in quarter one as well. So that's you're probably right. You have Innistrad. The Innistrad products are being released at the end of this year, quarter four. And then right away, they'll do the Innistrad again with both of those. And then Kamigawa probably comes out about a month later. So that the Kamigawa one is standard set, Neon Dynasty, which will arrive quarter one, is set 2,000 years after the first Kamigawa set in a fantasy cyberpunk world, which whatever.
People really are into cyberpunk's a really cool style of dystopia or futuristic utopias. But I think I could be wrong here, but when I read this, I go, that's exciting, really cool. But also I feel like it's a setup for like the future with Warhammer 40K.
That's a good point.
And so they're trying to do a lot of...
Well, think about what we get down to a little bit with the
Lord
Unset
of the Rings,
too.
Right? Like Magic as a whole feels more like Lord of the Rings. And so something like Warhammer feels a little bit out of there. So I think they're kind of priming us to get used to it.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Larry. Because that also brings in the unset that's we're going to talk about in a second. That's also more of a futuristic planet thing. But the thing I'm most excited for the Kamigawa is that more ninjas. I'm hoping that we don't just have. I love Yuriko. It's one of my favorite decks. Be nice to get more ninja support, or even
Does it say ninja in there?
I believe
have
from
they
the
said something about
pictures,
that?
I think it's going to have ninjas with that. So,
Because I saw you say that on the Discord, but I didn't. I didn't see anything there. So they're going to bring back ninjas since they know that was probably pretty popular, and Yuriko really pushes that. The Soul Shift probably isn't going to come back. Which was like whenever a spirit dies, bring a smaller CMC spirit back into your hand.
What about what you kind of mentioned on CMD Tower, the arcane stuff? Was that you or is that Brando that said that?
I think that was Brando.
Yeah, it was Brando.
All right, quick plug. I was on CMD Tower.
Yeah.
It came out last week with Brando and Mr. Combo number 5. We talked about mechanics.
Good for you.
Thank you. It
Oh,
was an amazing
good for
podcast,
you.
and I would suggest going checking it out.
It's because you were there, Larry. That's why it was so
I don't know
amazing.
about
Oh, good for you.
It was very good. I enjoyed it. Don't
Don't be jealous, okay? I can.
Why not? Why
can
can't I be jealous?
Oh, good for you.
Sorry. So, but I think like a returning mechanic can be ninjutsu. I would love it if they did arcane, but not arcane, like the version that they did in Modern Horizons 1, where it was just splice into instant or sorcery instead of splice into arcane. So it's like splice is more of the keyword rather than arcane.
Instead of arcane. Yeah, arcane kind of sucks.
It does. It does.
Okay, so we get off of that and we move to quarter 2. What happens there with quarter 2, Lowry?
Do I got it? Okay, Streets of New Capena. Is it Spanish or is like we don't have the tilde over N's in America?
One,
Kid can't even read.
All right, maybe I should listen to the streams when they do this shit. Okay, so it's a set that features a city built by angels and is now ruled by demons, crime families.
Yes, this is the mobster one that they're doing. Yeah, okay.
It's a mobster theme, angel versus demons?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
So there has to be other things. So okay, so it's the angels that created the city, and then demons are ruining it, and then there's all the different creature types in between. There has to be. It can't just be an angels and demons set, right?
Well, I mean, they're doing a vampires and werewolves set, basically.
Yeah, but I'll bet you there's going to be vampires in the werewolf set, and there's going to be werewolves in the vampire set that, there's going to be different creature types within that, but it's just going to be main.
Well, it'd be crazy if it was just the 2 here, but yeah,
I'm not just angels and demons. Holy shit. That would be some, like, would it just be like, are we going to get like a green angel? I hope we do.
Is that
like
the only color
green.
it isn't in? We have white. We have red.
White, black are definitely. Does blue have?
Do we have
angels?
a blue one? Maybe. I
You
can't
got
think of one off the top.
multicolored, like Bruna and Sigarda fit into those colors, but I don't know if there's like a mono blue or mono green angel.
That'd be kind of sweet.
Could be interesting. Yeah.
The next one I'm more excited for, which you probably aren't.
I am not. Jesus.
Not because of the set, but
yes, you are.
No,
excited
listen.
because of the set.
No, you're reading it. Stop drinking the beer. Put the beer down and drink it. Drink it? No. Read it.
Unfinity is coming out in quarter 2. What?
Woo! It's a new unset.
Stupid. It's an unset. It's stupid.
No, you know why it's going to be
The
sweet?
set is based on idea of retro futuristic space carnival.
So that kind of goes, the Space Carnival stuff. No, the part I'm excited for is not only the new basic full art lands that we'll get, which will be
They're going to be
sweet,
amazing. I'll agree with that already.
but they're also going to be doing futuristic space shocklands. Shocklands in an unset. That's fucking crazy. I hate you.
I mean, it's gonna, yeah. I mean, but I have no interest in buying the product because just like the basic lands, how often are a shock, like you could buy a box, you're going to have some really cool basics, and then you have you're going to get like 3 cool shocks out of the box. Like, I'm not going to fucking spend $100 for basic lands and shock lands. I'm just not. I need more. I need more from this relationship if I'm going to give money.
What if they were doing it every like 2 or 3 packs?
If they put a shock land in every 2 or 3 packs,
Kill shocks.
Why did I just buy it from the Secret Lair a little bit ago? Fuck me.
Damn it! Why did I buy so much Secret Lair shit?
If I was gonna get 16 shock lands from a box, then yeah, of course I'll do that.
Okay, so let's move on to the next thing you're probably not excited for either, but I'm excited for.
What? This Commander Legends?
Yes.
Battle for Baldur's Gate. Fucking up Commander Legends. All right.
You're gonna piss off our fellow Discord members that love Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
A new set focusing on the city of Baldur's Gate from D&D lore. I don't know anything about Baldur's Gate.
Hell to the because remember, no. Listen, this is why I like this, because we had talked about D&D. The problem with the D&D stuff is that we weren't going to get much more support. Now we're going to get a shit ton of support. We're probably going to get more, Commanders obviously is going to be built for Commander. Now would you think about maybe getting some of the D&D stuff? Like if there's now a whole product, like the Commander Legends was amazing. That was a great product that we just had.
It was.
So now if we get that similar thing,
with success. Why would you fuck with one of the best sets printed ever? It was amazing for us.
Yeah.
And now they're going to put some type of spin on it that they didn't have to do yet.
Yeah.
This is what they do, in my opinion, is they make a really great set, and then the second one they do kind of fucks it up.
Yeah. Well, does it though? I mean,
kinda.
Not when you're dealing with Commander stuff.
Yeah, generally they do really well with the Commander precons, and they're still smashing it.
I think dude, this is just giving you more support to the D&D stuff. Now the thing is,
care about.
Yeah, but I guess the thing that I have to ask is like, is that going to be a problem that maybe now we need to get every type of dice? You're gonna,
I don't care
you're gonna need
about
to get a 4-side, a 7-side,
that dice. That's fine.
Ted, 4.5 side.
Said I can go and get something at the dollar store.
The dollar store, I saw that too.
It's gonna be fine.
I was like, I might do that because I don't have all those other ones.
If I wanted to roll some fucking dice instead of play cards. I'm not at a casino. No, so they need to do something that's going to get me excited to want to do layers or rolling dice, and if they didn't do that here, it's gonna have to be a show me type thing. I'm not going to be excited for it unless they're going like making some really cool cards where I'm like, you know what? I am willing to play with that now.
Yeah. Well, what if they added
with adventures?
I think they didn't want to add too many dungeons for a standard set.
Sure.
Here they could kind of let loose and be like, here's 15 effing dungeons you can choose from and really go crazy with it, and then you can't start another dungeon unless you finish one. So it could kind of screw you over. They could do some unique stuff with it. It's just Commander focused, because it is just for Commander. I'm excited to see what they do with this. I'm glad that the standard set, the Adventures of the Forgotten Realms, was not the only thing, that we're getting a little more support. So it's adding a little bit of pizza and beer to our pizza and beer.
So again, kind of referencing the mechanics discussion from CMD Tower, though, like this is fleshing out the mechanics a little bit.
You guys and your fleshing. You guys did so much flesh
out.
You started the flesh out, and then you guys just loved that word for the longest. Flesh out. Out. I was like,
and so
no one did a fleshlight joke. How is that not in there?
I don't know. It's not very topical anymore. Is that the best-selling sex toy still? No,
I don't know.
Yeah. So like,
I don't own one.
I don't either. Why
are you turning red? Why are you blushing, Lauren? I'm just kidding. It's hot in here. It's hot in here.
But like, I hope that they go back and they kind of like do dice rolling and layers. I hope they do that and focus on that and make it a wider berth of things that you can do with it, because it just wasn't doing anything for me here. It still might not do anything for me. If people like that, that's great, but I'm okay. But what if they do a Boulder's Gate and then it's just dice rolling, they ignore layers and then add something else in D&D that we don't know anything about? Like, I would see that. Like, dice rolling, it seems to be like that is a D&D thing.
Mm-hmm. I bet no, you gotta have, because it's Dungeons and Dragons. We had 3 dungeons. They gotta add more dungeons in there.
Maybe.
What if they had one? Oh, what if they had one that was a kill a player dungeon that's like really fucking crazy to go through the dungeon, like really bad things happen, some crazy stuff where you're doing this side thing, and then maybe even having people interact with your dungeon. That'd be kind of cool to be like, move a player backwards in their dungeon 1 or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. But then you're playing Dungeons and Dragons at the same time playing Magic. I don't know. We'll see.
So, I mean, like, the question that I would say is like expectations. They'll probably bring back one mechanic that they do, and I don't know if they would consider dice rolling a mechanic. That can be something to be considered.
A few minutes later, quarter 3. Yeah, that was fun. We had some technical issues. Why are we having all these technical issues? Fucking technology sucks sometimes. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so quarter 3. I'm not going back to quarter 2. We like Commander Legends. Yeah, D&D. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Dice,
it's
whatever.
fine. I'm fine. I'm glad that the whole glitch, longer than a few minutes later, happened, because I would just keep going. But we're fine. Everything's fine. Fine.
All right. So, but we returned to Dominaria, which was an awesome set. Dominaria. It's Dominaria United. Okay. It showcases the iconic heroes and villains that are rooted in Magic's origin plane and a new standard rotation of cards. This seems pretty sweet. I don't know anything more of it, but I'm excited to go back to Dominaria because that was a pretty sweet set. But then also in quarter 3, was there anything you just want to say about Dominaria before I move on?
I agree.
Okay.
I'm excited for it. They did really well with Dominaria.
Yep. That's a good set.
A couple of years back.
That was when they first introduced a shit ton of commanders, right? That was all legendary. That's when we got that is when we got like uncommon legendaries. Legendary this, legendary that.
More than
normal.
Just a few.
Yep. And then we get double masters again in 2022. So 2 years later, it'd be about 2 years on the mark, because it was 2020 when we had quarter 3 last time, which was a year from.
Yeah. So, quarter 3 is like summertime.
Summer, fallish, right? Coming like right now. Isn't this quarter 3? Kind of quarter 3.
We are ending quarter 3, but yes.
Yep. So this will have the 2 foil cards, 2 rare, mythic, blah blah blah. Same thing. So sweet. It was a good set. Double Masters was amazing. So that's quarter 3. Then we move.
Also going to be really cool.
Move into quarter 4, and what is in that, Lowry?
The Brothers War, which is fantastic. Like, lore-wise?
Lore time with Larry. Actually, do your deep voice.
Lore time with Larry.
That's just so
that was.
How about I just do this one? Lore time with Now I just sound slow.
I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I can
just go back to the baby. It sounds like I ate a balloon.
Lord time with Larry.
Stop it. All right.
That was enough. He's like, I'm going to lose my shit again. The best part, and I said it before, is the giggle that you have with the baby is the part that makes me laugh the most. Just it's like a maniacal little, like I just picture like a little doll, like just all right. So Floor Time with Lowry. Brothers War.
So Brothers War is quarter 4. And that's going to be sweet because that is Urza versus Mishra, which are their brothers. And this is kind of like the story was kind of told through the set Antiquities. Antiquities.
That's a way back.
in the
That's a first year.
I know.
Antiquities. I
That's
still
like
have that
first-
sounder.
First couple Antiquities. So that was kind of all of that was the what happened after the Brothers War. The Brothers War is like one of the first novels that there are. So expect a lot of artifacts out of it. But I will be excited to see how the story goes and just the cards that come from it. And that'll be after Dominaria United. So I wonder if this has some type of connection. But Brothers War is, but maybe that means that Dominaria United is a prequel as well. So it's not something like after the Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. It's not after that. It might be a prequel leading into the Brothers War.
Can you hit that?
Which could be really cool.
Can you hit that nerd button for me, really?
Story, bro.
Oh.
It's so loud. It just blows up.
You had it.
I don't have it on mine. I think I only gave it to you. Damn it. I need it because
appreciate that.
Yeah, I have this.
So that would be my guess about Dominaria United is it's the lead into the Brothers War. So that'll be a 2-block format, which I'm cool with.
Then we go into what? Well, hey, let's do the jumpstart part. I'm excited for it too. Sorry. Yes, I'm excited. I'm just so focused on this. Go to do the next part. Just read it in the baby voice. Just turn it on there and let's hear how this one goes. I want to see this.
Jumpstart 2022. It comes out quarter 4 after Brothers War. And this set contains dozens of different themes, boosters to combine and play with. See D&D Master Set, parentheses.
Thank you. I like it. Oh man.
So they're doing a Jumpstart 2, essentially, and
Ooh.
that'll be cool. I mean, they've been running it for over a year at this point.
Yeah.
The original Jumpstart, it's still in stores that I've seen, and they kind
Do you
of
think this is?
keep on printing.
We got to get like Tiny Bones in there again. I mean, you got to get Tiny Bones. It has to be in something besides the Jumpstart stuff because I feel like those just or what is the Shepherd? What is it? The green one that.
Allosaurus.
Yeah, we just need those cards somewhere else because they're way too damn expensive because Jumpstart you just wasn't there,
Like literally, they didn't have the production to have it out there. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
What to expect.
And then the last stuff. There's some 2022 releases. So we got a Secret Lair Fortnite. Me.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Fortnite. I'm old,
but
so
I'm excited for Secret Lair Street Fighter. I like that these are in the Secret
Should be
Lair
cool.
stuff. Like
Yep.
just stuff that's outside of Magic. Yeah, put it in a Secret Lair. It's a perfect spot. Then we get. I didn't realize Warhammer was first, but Warhammer, MTG Universes Beyond Warhammer 40K. That'll be later in 2022, and then
their commander decks set around.
yeah,
Warhammer?
it's commander decks.
Fucking. They were doing so good with their commander products.
Maybe
Why are they adding all these? Like, is it just so that they could fit it in or something?
yeah.
Not saying I'm not excited for it. I know nothing about it, but it's
I
just
don't
kind of
either.
like I liked like having Strixhaven commander sets. I really think that the D&D commander sets are better than the commander set,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So I wish that's what they saw and like made a commander set with it. That makes sense to me.
I don't know.
It doesn't have to be 4 or 5, but it could be like 3 to 4 or 5.
So this will be their main commander set, is what I'm guessing out of this, right? I
Yeah,
mean, 'cause
that's what it looks like to me.
and maybe
So
that's
that
the
kind of
feeling with everything, is that because every set has a commander set, not just like the crappy ones that were like really shitty, like the brawl decks that they used to kind of do. The brawl decks were shitty, but but they had like a bad commander deck that used to come with. There were like 2 of them. Now they're like making commander decks. You still have your main one.
I don't know what you mean, because those ones were fairly solid. They were intro.
No, because the difference is like, so Strixhaven was our main commander decks, right?
Yeah. Yep.
D&D, these were solid decks too. Like they were like,
yeah.
So
yeah,
they've
yeah.
made.
But I'm talking about like Keldheim. They were actually solid commander decks.
That was still part
They
of.
made 2.
Still part of. Wasn't that part of the main stuff where they started changing things to the better commander decks? Whereas you move back like a year and a half ago, you'd have a set, and then you'd have this like, wasn't it a 60 card like command? No, it was 100 cards, but it was just not worth anything. And they were only like,
I don't know what you mean though. Like
they'd come in like that's where you'd get the bad planeswalkers in them. Wasn't that those?
Nope. Those were
Those were just 60 cards? Okay. I always thought those
were
are
60 card,
commander
yeah.
ones.
No. So those were like printed outside of a standard set, but still standard legal. And then that kind of transformed into Brawl. And so like Commander Legends had, 2 commander sets.
I could have sworn that they had a different commander set with all those other ones. Anyways, doesn't matter. I mean, because they didn't start making like each set. And I thought that was the announcement that they were making more specific commander decks. Maybe it was more of them instead of just 2. Because wasn't it just 2 before?
That would be the thing. But like this stuff, they didn't. I think what they were trying to do was Brawl. Like they were pushing Brawl with Throne of Eldraine. And then Brawl just didn't do anything. So I think they just kind of switched it to commanders, did a couple of different card changes. And then turned it into Commander and probably selling better.
Yeah. Sorry.
So,
I was just.
I mean, Warhammer 40K, I don't have any association with it. So I hope it's good.
Yeah. I hope so.
I hope so.
And then the other parts was the one that I'm really, really, really excited for is the Lord of the Rings stuff. That'll be in 2023.
Yeah.
And that'll be a draftable format is what I remember seeing when I was watching that video. So that is pretty much it for the next year. We did also get the Secret Lair drop that's going for the next month and change. Less than a month now because we got till the 14th, I said. So it's the Out of Time Superdrop. So why don't we just go through all of these, and Laura, why don't you read them? What's in? Do you have it pulled up? The Secret Lair stuff. I'll give you a second.
Give me a second.
So each of these, we have 5 different Secret Lair drops. There are 4 of them have a foil and a non-foil, and then there is one that is only in non-foil. And I'll give you the bundles really quick just so we can have that really quick. So there's the world's bundliest bundle, which is $240. It comes with the 4 foils, the 4 non-foils, and then the one that isn't in foil. It's just a non-foil. So you get...
Well, it'd be 4 foil and the 5
9. Yep. And then you have the world's foiliest bundle, which is the 4 foils for $130, and then you have the world's non-foiliest bundle, which is $120, and that has the 5 non-foils. So, Lowry, why don't you start us off with the first one, the Kamigawa one?
I'm going to say that you did a really good job stalling, but my web pages are all not responding.
So why don't I read them?
I don't know why. My
Okay, don't worry about it. I got it. I got you, buddy.
I'll at least pull you up again, and then I'll.
Okay, so the Kamigawa one, which this one's interesting. So there's a couple notes I wanted to say with this, but it's called the
Gorgeous
Kamigawa Inc. Secret Lair. So the first one, this is why I would rather you read them because it's fucking the Japanese. Get your kid can't even read button ready.
One,
Kid can't even read.
Oh, is that too early?
Yeah,
Sorry. All right, let's try this again.
The first one is Heartless Hitsuku. That is the one where it's the Half-Life thing, right? Yes. Yep. So it's the 2 red, 3 colorless. It's an org shaman. Ogre. So you tap it, it deals damage equal to half that player's life total rounded down. So whatever. The art's pretty sweet. So we're getting these full art things here. Then you also get Kami of the Crescent Moon. That's the
sweet card.
That's the drawing one.
So far.
Michiko Konda Truth Seeker. Reki.
Michiko Konda?
Yeah, that one.
Truth Seeker. Oh, yeah. Sorry, everybody. I'm not used to having buttons.
Riki, The History of Kamigawa, which sucks because it's been printed. I spec'd on that card a little bit, and it just keeps getting printed because it was in like the mystery booster stuff, right?
Mystery, yeah.
And then we get Toshiro Umazawa. So
yeah, that's sweet too.
Foils $40, non-foils $30. The big thing here, so big couple things here. If you total up what is existing of the non-foils, so remember that's $30. The non-foils with the comparable stuff is $67. So you're at a double up there. The foils, this is a hard one to figure out here, but anywhere from $79 to $200 because a lot of these only have one printing. They were only printed in the Kamigawa sets. So the foils comparable are $100. So the what is it? Michiko Konda Truth Seeker is $100. The Toshiro Umazawa is $100. So it's kind of hard because it's not going to be $100. So this one's a little tougher to figure out, but the rarity, the fact that it isn't in anything else besides the one printing makes it so this value is pretty up there because unless, which it could be, because the release of this is going to be when that Kamigawa or the whatchamacallit set is coming
when
out.
we're actually getting it is going to be 4 months from now.
Yeah. So this is going to come out right when those ninjas are potentially coming out, and maybe there are some reprints there. I don't know, but this is probably one of my, not spoiler alert, but spoiler alert, one of the best buys just because of the fact that they haven't been printed but one other time. 3 out of the 5 cards. And I think that was...
they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
These are one of the best looking ones out of all these too.
Yeah.
Were you able to pull up your stuff yet?
Getting there.
Okay. So that one's really good value. Like I said, non-foils 30, foils 40, comparable cards, non-foil 67, comparable to 79 to 200. It's probably not going to be 200, but think 79 plus. Next one is, well, I just went kind of down the order of how they had it. So it's Teferi's Time Bundle. This is just 3 cards, and there's not foil.
I can get there. I can do this one.
You got it? Okay.
All right. So it's going to be, let it pull up. So it's Dak Faden, and it has Old Border, and it's Karn, the
Great Creator.
Wasn't sure which one. And then it's Teferi, Protector of Time, right?
Time Raveler.
Time Raveler, the one from War of the Spark.
Yep.
So they're all Old Borders. Holy shit.
Yeah, you don't read what they...
I don't think I've actually...
Oh, yeah. No. So they're Old Borders.
I didn't actually see. They don't have like...
No, they're not put in the way that Planeswalkers are.
What?
They're put in like how you would have done this if this card was printed back in the day. So you don't have the loyalty on the bottom. It's all text. It is a freaking mitt full of text. Yeah.
That is a mess.
But it's cool.
I didn't even read it. I just went, these cards are awesome. I'm going to buy them. And I bought them. And now I'm looking at it. I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
But they're super unique. Like these are going to be up there in price. And I'm going to keep the card.
They're non-foil.
Yeah. Non-foils for $30.
You can only get these in non-foil.
So You compare those to the other non-foils, which is the cheapest versions of each of those, comes to $53. Like this one's really kind of, it's confusing as shit. This is more of a collector one because of the text stuff.
That's really fucking funny.
Yeah. But I think these, especially way down the road, a couple years down the road, these are going to be really expensive, each one of these. So that one is really high on the list. Why don't you move on to the...
I'm so glad that they didn't do Planeswalkers back then, because they had them as characters,
but they didn't. Yeah,
but
it would have been terrible.
Not as cards.
This would be
terrible.
Awful to read.
That would have been the death of Magic.
I'll tell you this: I'm not getting rid of the original ones of these because I'm going to need those as the ones in my binder. Be like what the actual fucking card does, because this is just it's too much reading.
Because a lot of the Secret Lairs, like I'm like, oh, this is gorgeous. I want to put in there. These probably won't go in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is an artist series, Johannes Voss, which I've at least heard of the artist, and the art is gorgeous. But they give you Carpet of Flowers, and then you have Karmic Guide, which looks goddamn amazing. All of these look so good. You have Sanctum Prelate, and then you also have Sphere of Safety.
Yeah.
And so you have a foil and non-foil versions of these.
So 30 and 40 again. The foil or non-foils comparables come out to 65. The foils come out to 78. Now there's a couple things with this. Again, Sanctum Prelate has only been printed once. Carpet of Flowers has only been printed once, and a mystery booster has not been printed in foil. So that was kind of hard to calculate in with this, so that wasn't. Or I took
Sanctum Prelate it was just printed in Modern Horizons 2 as well.
Yes, so that was the other thing is it was only printed as the special, like you could only get it in the collector boosters. It wasn't part of the whole set. I'm pretty sure that's how that one, because I have it marked as only for, hang on a second, Sanctum. I have it marked as only for the foils for that.
Okay.
Modern Horizon, buy a box. Yeah. So it was in the buy a box foil, so it came with whatever you were buying there, and then it came as Conspiracy was the other one, and now in the Secret Lair. So that one was a little tougher to calculate out, just because, it's a buy a box. It doesn't mean there's a crap ton of them, and those are still, it's a buy a box foil at $10, but you compare it to the foil from Conspiracy, which, your personal preference, would you take an old border foil or the new foils? The old border stuff is starting to rub on me a little bit.
From Modern Horizons 2?
Well, I'm saying like in general, old border, retro foil, like I'm liking the retro stuff. Like now
you're seeing it more and you're liking it more.
I like full art. Full art for me is my number one, but retro is right there for me. Like it's really close. Like I want both retro versions.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like it.
So that one was pretty good value there. I mean, Secret Lairs are all pretty damn good value. Why don't we move on to the next artist series stuff?
The next artist series is going to be Thomas Baxa, and fairly unique. I don't recognize this name, so
yeah, neither do I.
Might be a thing. Sorry, I had a burpsies. So it has Omnixilus Reignited, which is a cool card, not worth a whole ton, but definitely a cool card. It has Sire of Insanity, which looks, the style is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like it, but I can definitely tell that this isn't going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
But Sire of Insanity, not an expensive card, but an amazing card. And then it also has Sliver Hive Lord, which is the money card in this one. This is the 5-color legend sliver that all of your slivers have indestructible. Fantastic, crazy good card. Also has personal favorite Spellskite. And I like this as well, and that would be the 4 cards in there.
Yep. So $30, $40 foil, non-foil, or non-foil foil. The non-foils come out even. So it's $30, comes out to be $29. Spellskite just caught that reprint with double masters. So again, with the foils, it's also pretty cheap as well with Spellskite. Spellskite was up there, what, $15-$20 at one point before all these the reprints and stuff?
Well, it was before Splinter Twin got banned because it was a sideboard card against it.
Oh, okay.
So like when they went to play Splinter Twin, you give your Spellskite the Splinter Twin.
Gotcha. Like you said, Sliver Hive Lord is the big thing. It has only one printing and a mystery booster printing. So that at minimum is $22. But you move over to the foils, so $40 for that comes out to $133 for that one. So that's a pretty big swing for that. But again, Sliver has only caught one printing, and so at one foil printing makes it at $108. So that really brings that price way up there.
Yeah.
So, but that is the one I'm excited for. This one, mainly because I don't have a Hive Lord, so this is my chance to get it at a pretty sweet version of it. And then I love Spellskite as well, so this one's a pretty good value. And then let's finish off with the last one.
So this one's called Math is for Blockers. You have a Brazen Borrower, which is a great card. One of the more expensive ones from Throne of Eldraine, which is rotating, so it might go down a little bit. But fantastic card. Another one is Vindictive Lich, which is pretty cool. This was in your black-white deck, right?
Yep. The Teysa?
Yeah, Teysa Karlov, yeah. And then there's Meandering Tower Shell, which is in only... I don't even know if this makes Turtle Tribal decks. We'd have to talk to T-Coats on this one. I don't know. This is kind of disappointing. That one. And then there's Oran Frostfang, which is a sweet-ass card.
That just jumped up a bit because of... it's just a good card.
Yeah, it's a snow creature. You get to draw cards. It gives them death. Yeah, it's Findec wants this for sure. Thragtusk, it's super cheap, but like it's still a playable, decent card, and it was, it has a lot of good nostalgia to it at this point already.
Yeah. I am excited for this one, but almost like the same as the last the Artist Series one. I don't have Brazen Borrower. So the non-foils 30 to 44, so you get a little bit of a bump there. Main thing there is the Oran Frostfang and Brazen Borrower. Then the foils go from 40 to 47. Not a big jump because Vindictive...
Because of Meandering Tower Shell.
Well, yeah, the Turtle Shell is cents and Thragtusk is cents.
Cheap.
But Vindictive Lich has not caught a foil because it was only printed in a Commander product. So I wasn't able to really add that in there very well.
And Frostfang is only in a Commander product as well.
Commander product and the list. So it's in two different
things.
things.
On the list?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it technically has one printing, but is on the list as well. So, okay. Long story longer. The honest truth with it all, I personally went with the foiliest bundle, and I got one of those just so I could get all the stuff that I wanted because I like foils. And then I just went deep on the two that I liked. I went deep-ish on the Teferi Time Trouble one. And then I also went deeper on the Kamigawa one because I think that one lands perfectly with the Kamigawa set. I think that one could go up quicker than all the rest of these because it's landing at a perfect time. As long as they don't catch a reprint, and even if they do, they shouldn't. But even if they do, you have a full art, amazing looking art.
2,000 years in the future.
That's a good point. But you have this amazing looking art.
2,000 years in the future.
What?
Oh, I'm gonna love this. This is gonna make me just chuckle. That's how I just get in the mood. That's how we should start every cast. Is just you. Welcome to CommanderSmiths.
Welcome to the Meat Force.
Can you do marriage is what brings us together today?
Marriage is what brings us together today.
Love, sweet love, or is it true love? Okay, so what are your thoughts on this super drop here?
So, I mean, to me, like there's only a few heavy hitters and nothing like super crazy in this one. It's a really good balance. So I did the foiliest foil bundle. So one of each of the foils, and then I did buy the one
Planeswalker
Fury Planeswalker one that was on the non-foil. That's probably going to be the most common buy.
Yeah.
If you're liking the foils. So I mean, the Kamigawa one probably has a lot of good potential, like you're saying. And the Planeswalker one, like I really like Dak, Teferi, and Karn are all solid Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
So with your logic, I don't have any problem with the way you're thinking.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because for the first time, maybe not first time, but a lot of times these secret layers coincide with like a set coming out at that time, but then you don't get the secret layer until later. This might hit at the hype of the ninjas happening. And if they don't reprint those cards, you only have one other printing and those cards as your ones there. So these could go up. Just you can make your money back instantly with those. So
yeah, but I mean, there's no ninjas in this set, or like in the ink foil one, but they're solid.
I guess you're right.
Legends.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. I thought they were ninjas, but no, you're right. Just they have weird ninja names.
I mean, they're solid like legends from the set. They're all solid. Like Kami of the Crescent Moon.
Yeah, I love the art
Ichigo
on that
Konda.
one. All the art on this is pretty amazing.
All of the art is crazy good.
And I can't wait to see these in foil. That's a good point though on the ninjas.
Toshiro is sweet. Yeah.
None of these are ninjas. Damn it.
Yeah. I don't see any of them catching a reprint in the Kamigawa Neon Cyberpunk set. The characters might still be there, but I mean 2,000 year history gap makes it feel like
they wouldn't have
if they are, they're going to be changed.
Right. Okay, we need to move on. So that was good. Good stuff. Now we got to start our new segment that will be a weekly staple. And speaking of staples,
Excuse me, I believe you have my stapler.
Fight!
Staple versus!
I get it. I believe you have my stapler because we're talking about staples versus each other. God, this is genius. Okay.
You want to hear it again? You want to hear it again really quick?
Excuse me, I believe you have my stapler.
Fight!
Staple versus!
That's me right there. Sorry. It's
very deep. I didn't mean to step on your.
So then I took this off of there. It's an excellent laugh. It was pretty how I made that one. I had to like take 5 different video audio things and then combine it all together. And then the very end is me doing obviously staple verses. I don't know if you caught that instead of Mortal Kombat. It's pretty fantastic.
You're a wizard, Adam.
You're a wizard, Ari. I was very excited about it because originally I was just going to have you do your voice stuff, and then I was going to put something together for next week. But I was like, dude, Mortal Kombat and then stapler. I was just like, staples. My stapler from Office Space. Yes.
Office Space is
fantastic.
Amazing as a movie.
Okay. Here we go. How does this work, Larry? came up with this idea. It's pretty fucking. I like it. I like this. We're gonna.
You kind of chose the one that I didn't want to talk about, but that's all right.
Hey, it's the easiest. It's like one of the bigger staple ones. It's the biggest staple you can talk about, basically.
Okay, so the thought process behind this is kind of like when you're trying to cut down your deck and you're just kind of going like, do I need this? Do I want this? Why am I doing this? And so this is kind of like this is where people like you're making those decisions on why you have like we have proxies, but I don't put Mana Crypt in every deck. Soul Ring goes in every deck. And so
is there a reason for that? Is there
is that we're going to have that conversation right now. Why are we putting certain cards and certain things? Why not? I wish I had glow sticks. All right. So Soul Ring versus Mana. How do you say it again?
Mana Crypt.
Mana Crypt. All right.
Mana. You couldn't remember how you say it. You were like, wait, which one do I say?
You're around people that mispronounce things. You got to remember how to actually pronounce it properly.
Kid can't even read.
One,
Kid can't even read.
This is gonna be the biggest played button on your side. Mine is always the good for you because Larry likes to brag.
No, it should be.
Yeah. Oh man, that one always like blows out and then goes away because it's so loud.
I'll put it down on the podcast. I'm sorry. It's aggressive.
I need to send you a quieter one for you. Okay, so we're not going to make any decisions here. We're just going to give you all the sides of each one. And then we want you at the end here to either go on Twitter, because we'll put a little poll up there for the next few days. Vote there. You can vote in all these places, by the way. Vote on Twitter. Vote on YouTube. You can just do that in the comments. You can go, if you're part of the Discord, we'll have it up for the Discord. We're going to start a new channel for that. And then I think we're going to do a short of this as well. So you'll have, well, actually the short is where we probably want you to, vote. So on YouTube, do the short.
Lots counting there. And so, okay. So let's start this. They're both artifacts.
Boom.
And they both create 2 mana when you tap them.
One is 0
for CMC, and one is 1 CMC. That's not a huge difference.
But the 0, the thing that people might misplay Mana Crypt, and I was early on because I didn't always own it and I wasn't always playing it, is that people will go, you get turn 1 and you're like, ooh, I want to play my Mana Rocks out and blah, 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 blah. You know, be efficient. Get your stuff out so you can, your next turn you can have it. With Mana Crypt, if you can't do anything that turn with that 2 mana,
hold it.
Just, why even risk taking the 3 damage? It's a 0 drop. Wait until you actually need to use it. Drop it down, boom, use it, and then you don't have to take 3 damage. So that's one part of Mana Crypt that sometimes I do see players do that. I was doing that kind of early on as well.
And so like that's another difference. Crypt can deal you damage randomly, you know, like that
50-50 chance.
Soul Ring, no damage. Not an issue, just that 1 mana. That's kind of like, it seems like the trade-off within those cards, like potentially 3 damage or 1 mana to cast.
Yes. Another comparison of the two is the difference of the longevity of Soul Ring and what it does if you're a turn 1 Soul Ring compared to a turn 1 Mana Crypt. There's something with Mana Crypt where if you do it in turn 1, people don't see it the same because they don't see it that often, and because I think the 3 damage might have something to do with it. But when people see turn 1, if you're a veteran player, you go for that player. And actually, what was it? Command Zone did that. We've talked about it multiple times, where they did the stats and took all the main casts that have played YouTube stuff and of games. And the number 1 factor that players get targeted is a turn 1 Soul Ring. So there is a difference with the Mana Crypt compared to the Soul Ring. If people see that come out first, people just don't see Mana Crypt that often. So they don't have that engraved in their mind to go after that player.
So to specify like either side of the coin here, Soul Ring is incredibly available. It's been in every commander set, like product created.
Big commander sets. Yep, anyone.
everywhere. It can and should be in every deck because you can get it for fairly cheap. And then you got Crypt, which is over $100 even after reprints.
The minimum is like 150 at this point.
Yeah, at this point. But if they reprint it, it goes down to
100,
maybe 90, but
Yeah.
like for a split second, and then it goes up to 100 again. So like that availability of versus the two is going to create that difference of like reaction. And I think that's like a really good point to look at. We all know that Mana Crypt is a good card, but you just don't see it. So it's not as big of a problem per se.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where like there's a ton of old cards that are really, really good, but they're all $100+.
So you don't see them very often. Yep.
And so if those were more available, they would be more problematic and maybe have to be considered to be banned and stuff like that. But just nobody fucking has them.
Yeah.
So like why it's not really a problem. And so what is it good if you don't see it ever?
But that was one thing I did want to mention for not seeing it. Soul Ring, 483,000 decks.
Yeah, like everyone.
But guess how much do you think? Well, I did send you the picture.
You
of
did send me, but I forgot. So it's like 5,000, 6,000,
83,000.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, that's
more than I was thinking.
Yeah,
83,000
decks that Mana Crypt is in. Like
that's almost more than Cyclonic Rift, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is one of the most played cards, but it's our group doesn't play with it that much. I've been putting it in a lot of decks, but it doesn't go in every deck.
You have it, but I don't know if
I don't think
the rest of them have it. And so it's definitely one of those cards that like you have that like social pressure guilt when it comes to like playing expensive cards. I don't know if you notice it. This isn't an accusation either, but you're a fucking asshole. But like when you go like fetch into duel, and somebody's like, "Oh, we got duels over here." It's
but
duels aren't that crazy. They're just good, and we have them.
Expensive,
they're like the best
good.
land. Yeah,
but we play with the proxies. We don't ever have the actual cards out.
Yeah, but that's not really the point.
Right, I got
about
you.
Availability.
Right,
and when those expensive cards come down, people go, "Oh, this is the game we're playing," even if it's, like how big of a difference is it between Soul Ring and Mana Crypt here? But if you throw down a Mana Crypt, I disagree with a little bit that point. Like they might not attack you, but you're going to get that like ire from the table of like, you just had $150.
So you're saying the expensive part of it. You're saying,
Yep.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So like that's a little bit of why I restrict on how I play Mana Crypt. Like I put the restriction of I need a higher CMC deck where if I can't do whatever I'm doing, I can still play my crazy cards.
What if it was worth the same as Soul Ring? Would you play with it more?
Then it's yeah. The damage you have to bring into account, but like you can also add that into a bonus of like if you have some type of like life loss style deck.
The other part of it has
for commander.
It has flip coin built into it, so it works with flip coin decks.
Yep, also true. So like I think it has more complexity, which allows it to be thematically in more decks potentially.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that availability issue makes it so that it's not every. I guess 83,000 decks is more than I thought it was going to be in.
Yeah, I guess to give you an idea of, obviously Soul Ring's in every deck.
Yeah.
Mana Crypt for me, when it makes it in a deck, there's a couple stipulations. One, if I'm just lacking mana rocks that I need.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not playing too many colors. If I'm playing like 3 or 4 colors, colorless mana is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for color mana.
Do you play Soul Ring in those decks, or do you cut it from that as well?
I think Soul Ring's in every deck. I don't think I've.
So why the stipulation between Soul
Well,
Ring and
here's
Crypt
where I was
when
going to say
you're
is
like,
with Crypt, it normally fits in a deck that I have some life gain potential. Because if I don't have a way to gain life, and this is starting to hurt me and kill me, that gets a little
There's
dicey.
enough people telling stories of dying from Crypt.
Yeah. I'm normally pretty lucky with it. Oh, good for you.
You got a flip coin app that only goes your way.
Only goes tails.
Yeah, it's only tails. Tails. Oh,
what?
No damage here.
So, it goes in the. My deck has to have a little bit of life. If it's my deck is doing damage to myself, and I have no way to counteract that, I don't necessarily play it. But it does. It makes it in a lot of decks, though.
It's a great card for like Aloro or like Trelasara that I just built. I didn't put it in there, but
I wouldn't say that the commander has to necessarily do it. But if I have other things in the deck that allow me to gain life, then I'll play this a little bit more. But what I was getting at with the 3-4 colors or more, like you're looking for color in those decks. You know what I'm saying? Your mana rocks need to be color more than getting 2 colorless mana necessarily.
I understand that, but like why make the distinction of putting Ring in there,
I don't know.
Crypt?
I'm not positive if I would do I think I have Soul Ring in it. But I just haven't made a 3-color deck in a while. I got to stick with mono red, and that's just my jam, buddy.
And I think that's that frequency thing that we are kind of talking accessibility of, just like I have to physically and mentally go, I don't want Soul Ring in this deck, and that happened like one time in my life. And Mana Crypt is kind of just like by the wayside of just like, do I want it in this deck? It's not a do I not want it in the deck.
Right.
So I'm not really sure how that mentality is, other than the damage and the social guilt.
That's the part I think is more in your part, right?
Yeah. The social guilt part, like I have it in Vivictus Asmati, because that's cheating out a fatty deck. Like, and so if it's not working, then I need the mana to pump it out.
That's what I was going to say is if my commander has a bigger casting cost, then this is also making it in there. You need as much mono rocks that are, as many as you can get. So that it makes it in quite a few decks, especially in the monocolored decks where I'm trying to get stuff out quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that where I don't need to focus on the mono rocks being a certain color. It's more colorless if it's in a 2-color. And that's why I was saying with the focus of that, but it might also be an engraved thing that Soul Ring just has to be in a deck. It's like it has to be in a deck.
Conditioning.
Yeah. It's like that one time when I cut Sensei's Divining Top, and you're like, what? Why are you cutting that? It's like, I don't need it. I'm doing other stuff. I don't care about it. You're like, that's just silly. What are you doing?
Super silly.
Okay. So one other thing I did want to, or a couple things, there are some combos that can happen with Mana Crypt, unlike Soul Ring, because of that 0 casting cost.
Okay.
I did have that as a positive. In our eyes, that's a negative because we don't like the combos, but typically that's a positive. And then I think that's about it where I had for my notes on this.
I'm spent at this point. Like, I hope there's enough people like, okay, so if you guys out there and gals that want to make this like vote and go and just be like, what do you like better? What do you think is better? Like how strong or different? What would you rather play? Maybe that's what the question is for the voting. What would you rather play?
Would you rather
play Mana Crypt or Soul Ring?
If you had both of these cards and you got to choose which one you could play, which one would you go with?
Yeah.
That's it.
Round 1.
Excuse me, I believe you have my stapler.
Fight!
fantastic.
I hear it now. I heard it that last. I'm glad that you pointed it out. Yeah. Staple versus.
All right.
Fantastic.
Okay, so we're really long with this podcast
Maybe.
because of technical difficulties and all that stuff. We'll see what happens there.
Hopefully it's down to an hour 30.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, well, do that voting. Jump on, like I said, jump on Twitter, jump on YouTube.
It's Adams.
Discord, and vote, and we will announce the winner next week. And then we also reveal the next verses. Staple verses next week and the week after. Oh, because we're double casting, they won't be able to hear it, the one from next week, but we'll talk about that later. So, all right, well, that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Suck up.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love boobs. I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
Talk in your voice. I like that you did it during the cast.
What voice are you talking? Why are you laughing? There's nothing wrong with it.
You sound like a sexy baby now. What are you talking about?
Don't, we're not putting that up. That's real wrong that you said a sexy baby. That's, all right, if you want to be over here.
Is that the woman one, or is that?
This is, I don't know. Yeah, it's the woman one, but it's not so sexy right now.
Why do you have an accent?
Maybe it's so sexy. I don't know. You want to touch my shoulder?
Oh man, this voice thing is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. Why is it on mine and not yours?
I don't know.
Why is it on mine and not yours? Oh, the baby's great. The baby's great. Why is...
Oh man.
I wish baby talks like this. No babies talk like this.
Haven't you seen Boss Baby before?
No, this is... We gotta get to work. Make sure that the babies are making joy. And they gotta be the most popular baby thing out there. No dogs or kittens. It's all baby stuff. Like that's... Why? No.
You sound like the Minions. That's more of what it is. You sound like a...
Yes. If I was banana. That's all they say, right?
Yeah.
And
Is one of them Bob? I don't remember. Bob.
Bob?
Yeah, that's.
I don't.
And then is it what is the
Gru?
I don't think they say the name.
G-R-E-E. No, just G-R-U.
You.
G-R-E-U. G-R-E-W. It's really hard not to
Gru.
G-R-U.
Our post-cast stuff is always going to make the cast now.
Oh, no. That's
All right. I got to stop this. This is ridiculous. All right. Stop the video.